Okay, we are live. Um, it's gonna be a short stream, not too long. Let me know if you guys could hear me well. We're not gonna go into like all the details of what's happening with this case, but just some of the kind of like odd Epstein connections to maybe what's going on. Again, I don't know for sure if these are connected. This is all like still an active thing, but these are just some data points I wanted to throw onto the table. Let's shout out the chat first too. First too, like I don't know, this is someone's grandma, so if you do pray, please pray that they find her. Like this is like it's sad, to speculate on this kind of stuff, but I do think there's a potential disconnected. So there's that. Let's shout out some of the chat first. So who's here? DTP says RPK saying the Erica Kirk levels of acting in the Guthrie case too. Erica Kirk, Luisa Elizondo levels of acting. There's some definitely weird stuff going on with this whole situation. I will say that. Accidentally Gnostic said on day one of this situation on YouTube, commented in a thread, I was commenting in that she will be found buried in Mexico and it's related to Epstein. I guess they knew what they were talking about. I hope not, though. Who said that? Did you say that or did someone else say that, Gnostic? DTP says, yeah, maybe some people got to play a role so much they don't know how to be genuine anymore. Kierberto says, you're not a bad person, DTP. The only reason the Guthries go missing all of a sudden is to hide information. Montezuma said, I had no idea there could be a connection. DTP again says, when I saw the family's plea video, it clicked with the Epstein stuff going on to me as well because of how disingenuous it seemed. I wondered if it had anything to do with Epstein leaks. I mean, like, that is a fact, right? Like, this is happening at the same time as this latest drop of leaks, which one of them names her husband's company, which is a PR firm, which we're going to get into. Again, not trying to, like, point blame at anyone or anything, but I'm just saying, like, these did happen at the same time. These files are becoming one of the biggest conspiracy confirming events in history, says Etherman. I agree. But I'm not a researcher like RBK. I'm interested in seeing what connection he sees. Yeah, we're all just kind of doing this crowdsource on the internet and stuff. Everyone's working together. This is kind of a really sus topic that I talk about. So, just pray for everyone who are looking into this stuff for their spirits and whatnot. Etherman says, if they have an actual picture of Faraday on them, that'd be badass. Moffin says, what's good, Red? Happy Saturday. Thank you for all your hard work and coverage. Thank you, sir. Terrible Lizard says, the old world is dying and the new world struggles to be born. Now is the time of monsters. Antonio Gramsci. Interesting. All right, so we're just going to get into it. This is not going to be too long. I think I only have like 13 slides. LOL, it's probably going to be kind of long. Okay, let's get into it. So first things first, and now again, like a lot of this stuff is going to be covering stuff that happened before her mom went missing. Uh-oh. Tupa, you did make it. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Kind of a bummer topic, but I'm glad you're here.
What up? Dude, this is wild. Yeah, glad I came through. My technical difficulties, so we're in the mix, but this is getting weirder and weirder, man.
Yeah, right. Have you seen some of the stuff like people have been posting about, like, so I guess right off the bat, right? Slide one, because this is, I think, and I was telling the chat, we're going to cover some of the stuff that's like not really, like, we're going to cover all the videos of like her interviewing people tendentially related to this before, but I think before we even do that, we have to understand this context that her husband's, Savannah Guthrie's husband, PR firm, let me get that again right, sorry. Savannah Guthrie's husband's PR firm is in the Epstein files. Did you know this, Chupacabra?
Tangentially, but like only from you're reporting. Like this is, when you hear about these things happening, I guess a kidnapping happening to a celebrity who's loosely connected to all the victims and the perpetrators, like that's your mind goes, well, maybe that's more than a coincidence. But then you start finding that there are connections, and this one blew me away.
Not just little connections. So we'll read the email first, and then I'll kind of explain what's going on here. Let me turn on the music just a tad. So again, for these, you have to read upside down, right? Bottom up. From Kelly Friendler to Lawrence H. Summers, idea for Jeffrey E. This is 2015, mind you. This is after he's been long convicted of being a sexual predator. It says, perhaps you should suggest Jeffrey talk to Joe Lockhart at the Glover Park Group. He has helped Clinton and General Petraeus. So real quick, right off the bat, this is Savannah Guthrie. This is Savannah Guthrie's husband. What's his name again? Michael Feldman, I believe. Yes, Michael Feldman. And he founded the Glover Park Group. Let me just go ahead and read a little bit about his bio real quick here. Michael Feldman is an American public relations and communications consultant and a former Democratic political advisor. Feldman was Vice President Al Gore's traveling chief of staff during the 2000 presidential election campaign. So right off the bat, did you know that she was married to Al Gore's chief of staff? little interesting, right? Given everything else.
Dude, of course. But I mean, like, yeah, of course.
I didn't know that.
Course.
I was like, whoa, what?
Well, have you ever seen these charts that show who in the media is related and connected? And there's a ton of people who were like doing behind the scenes work in DC whose spouses are TV news anchors.
Exactly. So it's like this, right? So it's like on one hand, they're like, I'm just an unbiased reporter, but on the other hand, she's married to a super, and it's not bad to be like a Democrat or anything like that, but she's married to someone who's a major Democrat.
Yeah.
Literally was the campaign. He would have been the chief of staff of the president had Al Gore won. Let's like, you know what I mean? Had Al Gore, Al Gore was the Democratic nominee in 2000. He would have been right up there in the White House. That's high level. That's not just like the chief of staff of some local congressman, right?
Yep.
And he also has this PR firm that we'll read about more here. So Michael Feldman is an American public relations and communications consultant and a former Democratic political advisor. Feldman was Vice President Al Gore's travel and chief of staff during the 2000 presidential election campaign. He is a founding partner and managing director of the Glover Park Group, a communications, consulting, and advocacy firm. In 2001, Feldman formed the Glover Park Group with Gore campaign advisors Carter Eskew and Chip Smith. So when they didn't win, they made a PR firm. And former White House Press Secretary Joe Lockhart. The Glover Park Group offers communications, government relations, corporate advocacy, and crisis management services. Feldman is a managing director of the firm he developed and currently leads its entertainment and environmental practices. So he runs a PR firm. Let's get back to the email now, right? So somebody's emailing, I think like an assistant or something to Jeffrey Epstein about, hey, you know, let's rehabilitate Jeffrey's image with this firm of all firms, the Glover Park firm. Perhaps you should suggest Jeffrey talk to Joe Lockhart at the Glover Park Group. He has helped Clinton and General Petraeus. And if you remember, Joe Lockhart is the former White House press secretary, right? Who formed the company with Homeboy. So like they're all in the mix with each other, bro. Like
under what administration was that person? Was Lockhart the press secretary?
My guess is Clinton. Let's look this up. Yep, Clinton administration.
Okay.
Yep, it's this guy. If anyone could see here.
Yep.
Joseph Patrick Lockhart is an American spokesman and communications consultant who served as the 21st White House press secretary during the Clinton administration. So the Clintons are all up in this.
Yep.
He has helped Clinton and General Petraeus with their PR stuff, right? So, you know, I'm sure he was helping out during all the Monica Lewinsky stuff.
Well, there's so much more. By 2015, had Benghazi happened?
I think so. Yeah. Joe is great and he likes you a lot. Let me know if you want to reach out to him. He's an old friend. Lawrence H. Summer says, not a terrible idea. Now, we don't have any other updates here. We don't know if they did go through with it, but this connection is just very strange. And again, with each batch, there's more and more. Maybe next batch, there's going to be an email that with Jeffrey Epstein saying, yeah, you know what? Let's use the Glover Park Group. Let's use the Glover Park Group to rehabilitate my image on the national media.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And again, this is all interesting because, again, her husband, Savannah Guthrie, is married to Mark Feldman. I think that's how you say his last name. And he is a founder of the Glover Park Group, along with, as we said, Joe Lockhart. He was the chief of staff for the Al Gore campaign. He founded it with Joe Lockhart, who was the Clinton, what was it again? White House press secretary or some shit like that? Yeah. Okay. So I think that's important to just understand before we watch any of the other clips that have been going around, right? Is that like, she's, like you said, she's not necessarily just an unbiased journalist, is she? Right? If she's married to this dude, and
well, she hasn't been behaving that way. And I don't mean she should behave a certain way or whatever, but I mean, none of her coverage on the subject of like Trump or these issues that are pretty much, you know, like keystone issues for a particular political party. Like she's pretty heavy-handed. Like that clip of her before the election in 2020 with Trump, and she's drilling him. Like you don't think, or you think there's a pedophile network that's doing this? You know there isn't.
Let's cut to that real quick too. We'll just cut.
Let me ask you about.
So again, remember this clip in the context of her husband works for basically the Clintons in a PR firm meant that was at least in talks to potentially rehabilitate Jeffrey Epstein's image.
QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely...
So right off the bat, this is 2020. And again, in the context of everything going on, it's like, it was crazy to learn, one, that her mom went missing, two, that she's in the files, or her husband's company's in the files, and then three, like, she has all these little weird moments about like brushing up against stuff that's related to stuff in the files, like the idea of a satanic pedophile cabal, right? And then it's like, oh, well, here she is in 2020 trying to like talk down to the president, which I feel like is very disrespectful. Whoever the president is, even if someone was talking to Joe Biden that way, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, have a little decorum.
It gets very combative. She talks down to him, and then she asserts, like, he's like, I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know. And she's like, but I just told you. Like, that's so combative. It's like unprecedented. In my opinion, it's unprecedented.
Yeah,
they
for
were
presidential.
Dude, even like in the debates, they were like that, and everyone's called it out. It's like, yo, this is not right. The way
this is not unbiased journalism. Yeah, this is like a hit piece kind of thing.
Exactly. It's made out to be a hit piece, and then if he defends himself, he's attacking women. It's very weird. It's very weird how they do this. But like, this whole clip is crazy, and in the context of it, like you said, you know, when she phrases the question, not only has all that stuff been proven to be kind of right? You know what I mean? There is a cabal there clearly satanic pedophiles. There clearly is.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, the Epstein files that her husband is in, or her husband's company is in, right? So it's like, does she know about this already? Is she in the know when she's asking him this question? The way she looks, you got to think she's so plugged in. She must know something. Everyone knew something. Yeah. Everyone knew Epstein was doing something. She interviews the victims. Yeah,
we're gonna get to that too. And she interviewed Bill Gates about it. She interviewed everyone about it
in 2019, right?
Mind you, her husband's in talks in 2015 about rehabilitating Jeffrey Epstein's image.
Right.
And here she is on and like denouncing Trump and the concept of a satanic cabal. Very odd.
This is a year after she interviewed those witnesses or those victims.
Yeah. So let's get through this clip and then because we'll get.
Let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is a satanic cult run by the deep state.
The subject. I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Republican Senator Ben Sasse said, quote, QAnon is nuts.
Great point. Isn't that like, because this is 2020, money. This is when fucking shit was going crazy in like 30 plus cities in America. Literally people dying in the streets. But you lived in Portland at the time. Tell the people what it was like in Portland, bro, in 2020.
It was kind of like, it was a lot of LARPing, but it was a little hellish, and the media did not help in the feeling of it. It lowered morale quite a bit. You had gangs of like everyone dressed in all black running around thinking they were like freedom fighters, and they were just getting tear gassed and like ruining neighborhoods and trying to create their own little Chaz or Chop or whatever they wanted, these little areas where they would basically build forts and then run their own security around the forts. Like it was literally like Little Rascals, right? It was retarded, but it ended in a lot of broken windows, a couple dead people, 2 people died in Seattle. A guy got killed down here and just straight up murdered down here. And then the murderer got killed by the police. Like that was a whole thing. But yeah, there were these riots that would happen all the time. And the groups were nuts, and the city would let them go again and again and again.
Yeah, so this idea that QAnon, whether you believe them or not, like the idea that like, oh, people talking about like satanic pedophile cabals is like crazy and needs to be talked about right now, and not all this crazy Antifa shit that was going on at the time, is just another like, isn't it interesting that who her husband is? Her husband would have been the chief of staff at Al Gore one, and was buddy with Hillary Clinton's press secretary, and has this whole PR firm, and like this is what you want to talk about when the country's like locked down and burning. Crazy.
And real leaders call conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's crazy and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me
tell
ask you
all
another
about it.
thing.
Let's waste the whole show.
Look at her.
You start off with white
Like-
supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you, what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I
When
mean, I
he
do
said
agree
that.
with that. And I
But
agree
there's
with
not a satanic pedophile
have
cult
no
being run
idea.
by-
I know
You
nothing
don't know
about
that?
Oh, you think that's Trump saying yes, it is satanic? Him being like,
Yeah.
I don't. That's him saying like, it's satanic, bro.
Well, think about it. The Epstein files reveal that everyone kind of knew about this, in that circle especially, right? You'd have to know. You'd have to know about the pizza term. You'd have to know that this was going on. You'd have to know that Epstein was up to no good and that people were still giving him money and he had an island. You'd have to know what modeling agencies were for. You'd have to be hearing all the dirt about all the top tier stuff. So the idea of going on this show particularly and just basically trying to force the president to say it doesn't exist when you know he knows it exists, but she's challenging him to affirm it or deny it and only giving him one out. You have to deny this. You have to deny this. This is not a thing. It's such a weird thing for a reporter.
In such a fucking demeaning way, dude.
Yes.
Like, you know, love or hate Trump. Again, like I said, bro, if a reporter was talking to Biden like this when he was the president, I'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are, dude?
Dude,
Like,
they
you
would
can be
call it
critical
elder
of him,
abuse.
but don't be like talking like that.
Dude, it'd be crazy.
Okay.
No, I don't know
You
that.
just
And neither,
this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay, just this week
Why,
you
why are
retweeted.
you asking me about
No, I don't know. He's saying I don't know if it's satanic or not, and you don't know if it is either. That's crazy. That's crazy from a president.
Antifa? Why aren't you asking me
'Cause you
about the
just-
radical
you-
left?
'cause you're
Why aren't
volunteering
you
it.
asking Joe Biden questions about why doesn't he condemn Antifa? Why does he say it doesn't exist?
Because you're here before
Antifa,
me.
no, excuse it's so cute. Antifa exists. They're vicious.
Don't you love too that this is all happening in like the mask shit in the background? Like, how dystopian is all this shit?
Yeah.
Satanic pedophiles are fake. Tell us. And it's like
I
in
mean,
the background, everyone's masked up and fucking distancing.
Dude,
It's like
that's such
psyops
a
on
good
psyops on
point.
psyops, right? It's
Dude,
like-
that's such a good point. Pedophile rings are not real. She knows they are. It's been proven they are. You cut to the background and they're all masked up. And the reporter is belittling the president of United, or you know what I mean? The president of the United States of America. Everything is flipped. Everything was a psyop in this whole thing. It's so bizarre, dude.
so weird.
They're violent. They kill people, and they're burning down our cities.
Well, now
And they happen to
Antifa
be-
is a terrorist
Terrorist
organization.
organization.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So we did bounce around a little bit there, but let's go back a little bit too, because
From the buzzword
so
of
not only was her husband working for that Glover Park group, a Rothschild works for the Glover Park group. Isn't that interesting? And look at the spin that happens here with a Rothschild from the Glover Park group in 2020. This is after the election, right? The 2020 election. It's looking like more and more it probably was stolen. You know, I'm just gonna say what I think. If you don't think it is, you're free to think that too.
unity being a consistent theme thus far in 2021 to how recent issues shined a spotlight on infrastructure. We want to jump right into our Monday morning quarterbacks segment. Joining us now for today's panel are guests Greg Rothschild and Nate Hoshman. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Jeanette.
All right, well,
Thanks.
you heard it there. Unity has been used a lot by President Biden since his inaugural address, but his opponents say his willingness to pass a COVID relief plan, for example, without bipartisan support shows that he is doing the opposite. Do you believe that to be the case? Greg, I'll start with you.
No, absolutely not. And I think what you're seeing, President.
So first off, right off the bat, we got a Rothschild here working for the Glover Park group. Isn't that just weird on its face?
Yes.
And we're going to cover the Rothschild email again next slide, but just that's weird on its face. And then listen to the spin they put on everything.
Biden do is pursuing an agenda that has
I didn't put that. Someone else put that, but
Good to know.
broad support across the American landscape, whether it's COVID relief, an economic stimulus, rebuilding our nation's roads and bridges, tackling climate change. These are all issues that poll very, very high, even among many Republicans. Even in Texas last week, for example, it's very interesting. When we had that horrible storm and people were suffering, the president didn't talk about red states and it being Texas's fault, as we might have heard from the prior administration. He sent aid. He declared a national emergency. We're not waking up anymore to kind of hateful tweets that we used to. So I think you're seeing a
so look at Rothschild is good thing that the fucking social media censored the president, right? Isn't that weird, bro? Remember, this is when X before Elon bought it, and they literally They didn't allow the president of the United States to tweet because he was saying the election was rigged. Right? That's such a weird inversion of how the power structure should be, in my opinion.
And
here's Rothschild, Glover Park Rothschild, being like, "That was great, isn't it great? We're not waking up to like the president tweeting about how Fulton County, Georgia, was super sketch. Like, doesn't this all prove that it was kind of stolen? You know, when you got this motherfucker on here, yeah, crazy.
Much more unified approach from this president, and if Republicans choose to represent their constituents and do things their constituents want, I think you'll see them voting for many of President Biden's agenda.
Nate, what do you think?
Choose not to work with him.
It's a good thing the president's off social media, and two, I think actually Republicans love Biden. They're gonna love him. So weird.
Remember, most of the Republican base.
Mind you, he was a fucking senile old man even at this point. He was like incapable of even walking. He was
a prop. He was a prop, and now we know that, like, and I think the suspicion is that Barack Obama was really having a third term. That's the suspicion. I mean, Barack Obama was the person who put all these, who was surveying this dude. Like, they were trying to get Trump out of there. It's insane with what we're finding out. It's insane. And then this whole election coup of 2020 and the fact that he was senile, he wasn't ever the real quote unquote president. I mean, the media covered for him like the Sharp as Attack business. You ever see him? Like, the Sharp as Attack stuff is crazy. You could make a YouTube channel like just about 2020, the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and just
right.
Be like, we're gonna watch all the news from that year. In hindsight, it's gonna be ridiculous. But yeah, this is crazy. This is wild.
You remember too when they said it was like they were deep fakes? They tried to say like some of his big fun was like, "Oh no, that's just AI." It's like, no, that's actually real. That's actually really who the fuck you guys propped up here.
Oh my god, dude! There was a clip from the debate where he like lost what he was talking about and shit, and they were like, "No, that wasn't. That's a." Did they call it a deep fake or they call it a deep something? They
got the word wrong, right?
Yeah,
Even,
yeah.
They called it a cheap fake or something.
Cheap fake, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Views President Biden as an illegitimate president. The election was stolen is still something that most Republicans believe. So that doesn't leave a lot of room left for President Biden to work with them. I think he's going to pursue what he perceives to be a unifying agenda. I think he's going to have broad support among the public. And I just want to push back on the notion that for support from Republicans in Washington is the prerequisite for putting forward what would be considered to be a unifying agenda. You might have to do.
Yeah, so just we got Rothschild, Glover Park.
Without it.
Nate,
Rothschild
really quickly
here, just on the news. I just find it crazy that her husband is literally working with the Clintons on a PR firm. And again, PR firms, PR firms are fucking dirty, bro. PR firms get really dirty. People don't realize that. PR firm like sounds all like clean and corporate and shit. They get dirty. They get low. They dig into your family. They dig in. They'll find dirt. They want to find your brother's affair. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like this is how dirty they get. They'll pay people to do that. They'll pay people to go undercover and be your friend to get dirt. Like that's what PR firms do. PR firms is a revamp of propaganda too, by the way. So just like, I don't know, bro. I met a lot of shady fuckers, and a lot of them are in PR. I'll just put it that way. Yeah. All right,
I believe it. I believe it, dude.
So again, on the Rothschild thing, right? Not only should work for Rothschild, let's not forget, we covered this last time, but real quickly, the Jeffrey Epstein 2016 email to Peter Thiel, I represent the Rothschilds. He also said, he says, as you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. I was hoping to figure out a way for the bank has 160 billion management, can do something in tech, best clients in the world, prehistoric products. So again, and we did the stream the other day with UFO Shane, really great stream where he covered all the different times he's intermingling with all these other Rothschilds. So I just find it very curious that like Jeff's a Rothschild.
From the buzzword of
in this fucking thing.
Good morning, Jeanette.
And then also in the documents, we got Savannah Guthrie's husband's PR firm being here like, hey, have Jeff talk to them. They're good. They're good with PR. They're good at rehabilitation. Are all the pieces clicking for you too? But I feel like I know they are, bro. The chat, let me know if these pieces are clicking for you guys. All right, let's continue along. And actually, great point here too, real quick, before we get into them again. Just reminder: Savannah Guthrie's husband, Michael Feldman, her PR firm, which is all Democrat run, and he was the chief of staff for Al Gore, and they're in the email saying, "Hey, should we help rehabilitate Epstein?" Not his name specifically, to be clear, but his company that he founded. Right there, the Glover Park Group. So again, when you watch all these next clips, just remember that.
Let me ask you.
Then we got this one. She interviewed a Virginia Guffire. Interesting that their names are so closely aligned, I thought too. Now, this is the witness who we're going to hear what she said, but she said, I'm not suicidal. And then last year she was hit by a bus. She said, I'm not suicidal. And then she was she committed suicide, allegedly.
Young, Ghislain woke me up in the morning and said, you're going to meet a prince today. I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, let's dance together. And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp.
What do you think of the way she's looking at her as she gives this testimony? Kind of odd, no? Almost like disdain. I mean, maybe not disdain. Maybe that's a little too hard, but like definitely lack of empathy in a situation where you would expect it. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're looking at this in hindsight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like it's easy to like throw emotions on just blank faces. So that's something to keep in mind, right? Because we're thinking like, how much does she know, and why is she here interviewing these women? Like, what's going on?
That's the other thing too, right? Because we have to think now, like she's interviewing the victims, and mind you, her husband is in the files. Her husband's company is in the files as potentially rehabilitating Jeffrey's image in a PR front. And you know, it's kind of like there's an added bonus to it later, and maybe this even applies to Trump of it too. Like, it's not just that they have to rehabilitate Jeffrey's image just for the shits and gigs. Like, Bill Gates has a vested interest in rehabilitating Jeffrey's image. The Clintons do too. Like, everyone tangentially, and that's why he was taking photos of himself with everyone. Because it's like, it's not just me, bro. It's like, it's us. You feel me? So like, her husband is all in the mix with all that shit. So just very odd.
And I hop in the car with Ghislain and Jeffrey. And Ghislain said he's coming back to the house.
Wait a second.
And I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the victims would have agreed to be interviewed by Savannah
had they
known that her husband's company was in talks to defend or be a PR firm? I mean, Petraeus and Clinton are mentioned there, and Petraeus and Clinton are connected through Benghazi. I don't know if you know that. That's how they're connected. So it's like a PR effort, because that happened in 2012. So like, you know what I mean? Dealing with these very high stakes situations seems like what they're good at, but it's all in one side of the aisle, which kind of reflects how extreme these sides became in the media, right? The polarization of American politics, began like prior to 2016, right? But it was because things started to collapse. Like there were really big issues that were coming out, and those things kind of dissolved into this Epstein thing, dude. And I don't know. I think it's odd. I don't think that they.
I think to your question, I think they would not have had they known that even in the talks, let alone God forbid we find out next fucking batch that they're like, yeah, let's do it, let's rehabilitate his image. You know, God forbid we find that out in one of these upcoming ones. I don't think they would have done it even in the talks. Chat, let me know what you guys think. Would these victims have agreed to go on this and be interviewed by Savannah Guthrie had they known that her husband here, Michael Feldman, is listed in the files as potentially a PR firm to help her rehabilitate Jeffrey's image? I think no. Good question too, bro.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved.
Yep. All right. Just real quick too, to honor the dead, you know, here's Virginia Roberts, because again, last year she got hit by a bus, then a month later she was committed suicide. But what she said was, last year she said, this year has been the worst start to a new year, but I won't bore anyone with the details. But I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving 110 kilometers as you were slowing for a turn, then no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. I've gone into kidney renal failure. They've given me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in urology. I'm ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time. But you know what they say about wishes? Shit in one hand and wish in the other. I guarantee it's still going to be shit at the end of the day. Thank you all for being wonderful people of the world and for being a great part of my life. God bless you all, Virginia. And then a month later, she allegedly commits suicide. Isn't that super shady, bro? Super fucked up.
I don't think... And I'm not trying to be insensitive here. We have every right. This is a public situation. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I don't think she's dead. And I think that this is a photoshopped image. And the whole story about her getting hit by a bus, people were already throwing, there were questions. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like there was
You think
some
it's like a
weird-
witness protection program type situation?
100%. That's what I think. It's a witness protection.
Oh shit!
Because the thing is
I
like
hope so. That would make me happy.
when those people are killed, then the perpetrators and the co-conspirators begin to move around freely. They do different stuff. So you watch accounts, right? The witness tells you, here's what I know. Boom, 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 right? I know this, this, and this. They go, okay, well, you know, you die, then they're going to do this, this, and this. We're already watching these accounts. We already have the subpoenas. We're going to be checking this stuff out. And then they would watch to see who reacts, to see if there's any weight to it. I mean, a lot of people are accepting the fact that Epstein is not dead. It doesn't make sense if he's dead. If the government has him in their control, they're not going to just throw him in some rando prison for no reason with some rando dude. Like, dude, no way. No
I need
way.
to look into that more. Is there like documented cases where like they're straight up faking motherfuckers' deaths like that? I'd imagine maybe. I mean, witness protection's a thing, so why not just add the other layer of like a fake death?
It's the best play possible, in my opinion. It's the best play. Not in Virginia's case. I don't know what that's about. That's something that, you know what I mean. But the post combined with the pictures, it doesn't add up to me. And then the sudden suicide later, you know. And am I tripping, or was it barely even a blip on the news?
Yeah, it was barely a blip.
Like I honestly think that people didn't know she was dead until they saw your post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was when people found out, like, oh, this is really shady. But yeah, beyond that conspiracy theory, you know, let's say she was hit by a bus, let's say she did commit suicide. The timing of this is insane.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't. Very strange, dude.
All right, let's continue on here. Another document, Savannah's name comes in, which kind of makes sense. Department of Justice thing. Just wanted to give you a heads up. She's done another interview with Savannah Guthrie. I forget which exactly person this is. In it, she said the following. One, she was interviewed by FBI in 2011 by Redacted. In the interview, she gave the names of all the girls she helped traffic. She was also interviewed by SDNY, no time frame. 2 other women tell DOJ that Epstein specifically trafficked them to other men, and 4 there are cameras in the New York City house. So again, I'm not trying to be a dick, but if I was to go like full conspiracy boomer on the other end, it's like, was Savannah Guthrie an operative to find information for the control group, for the Epstein group? Who are they telling what?
Dude.
How are they publicly? I mean,
Yes.
when you read this, it kind of seems like the DOJ might think that, right?
Well, yeah. And that's also proven in that one clip that was shared by Project Veritas, where they got the hot mic clip of the reporter, Rachel, I forget her name, but she was like, oh, I had this story. This is in 2019. She goes, I had this story 3 years ago, and we had all of the witnesses come. Yeah, watch this. Tell me that the ABC, aka Disney, didn't try to just get information from the witnesses.
Story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story.
Virginia Roberts, not just anyone, the same lady, right? I didn't realize it was Virginia Roberts. Okay.
Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways.
The royal family's threatening her now over this girl.
We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known.
You're right, Chupa. I think it was. They were using these women as like their own little intel fears under the guise of like, oh, we're going to protect you. You're going public, but let's just get everything you know. Who do you know about? What pictures do you have? What evidence do you have? And then our PR firm can formulate a strategy on how to best move forward.
Exactly.
But we're not going to go public.
Exactly.
Fucked up.
She says she was in hiding for 12 years and we convinced her to come out. She gave us everything. And then all that information gets trickled right up to the top. You know what I mean? This is ABC and Disney. These guys are in the files. Like, dude, bruh, where does you know what's interesting? One other Disney tie-in, which I mean it's like whatever, but Maxwell's nephew, who was who emailed her a list of women he'd like to do nasty things to, including Natalie Portman, Denise Richards.
That's a clip. Let's save that for the end. I'm down to talk about that. I don't know.
But he works. Do you know where he works now?
Oh, Disney.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, she's over here getting information from the witnesses for these guys. And then it takes 3 years, right? And then this is 2019. Oh, bro.
Yeah, you're talking about this one real quick. Yeah, we'll touch on it. Fuck it, dude. So yeah, this happened. This is 2002 email to Ghislain Maxwell from her nephew. Not just any nephew, and we'll get into that too. I mean, there's so much shit here, so many layers here, but fuck it, we're having fun too. But wish list of actresses I'd like to do the nasty with. So hi, Uncle Lane. This is 2002. I hope you're well. I look forward to seeing you when that might be. However, I'm not sure. I'll email you when I'm able to do something with you. As for my wish list of actresses I'd like to do the nasty things to, though not complete, would probably look something like this. 1, Natalie Portman, Queen Amidala of the new Star Wars. So this is episode 2. She's looking good in that one. Possibly Jennifer Love Hewitt. 3, Denise Richards. As for things I'd like to do, whether it be in London, New York, or New Mexico, or Caribbean, not quite sure at all. Though we'll look into it. In New York, besides see the sights, possibly some theater or something of that sort. Anyway, I've got to run. Thank you so much. And then Ghislain's response is, oh shit. Let me see. It's super.
This is insane. How old was he at the time?
I think he was like 14 or 15. She says, I got the wish list. Feel free to expand it anytime. Did you get the Nomad? I think that the new toy to get looks like the iPod. What do you think of that one? Where are you now? Please email me my current picture of yourself so I can put you on the mantelpiece. Look forward to seeing you soon. Right. So, yeah. You had said S tier list. Not about
for a 15-year-old at this year for a 14. Yes. Yes.
And this is her son, Xavier Molina. Isn't that interesting, Tupa?
Yes.
I mean, Xavier Molina, another layer to this rabbit hole.
Why Xavier? You know what I mean? But yeah, Molina, bro.
So first things first. He works, like you said, at Disney, R&D, robotic fabrication, generative AI. Interesting, right? So that's Xavier Molina. He's an adult now. It's just doxing. I don't know, maybe. But it's not just any nephew. It's the nephew of fucking the Molina connection, which is, again, Ghislain Maxwell's sister, Christine Maxwell, is married to Roger Molina, who was the son of Frank Molina, rocket engineer who was palling around with Jack Parsons and Aleister Crowley. So here we have Jack Parsons. Here we have Frank Molina. Here we have Christine Maxwell, Ghislain's sister. And here we have her son, Roger Molina. And here we have a family photo of them. Here's Christine, Ghislain. And yeah, that's the son of all sons. It's the Aleister Crowley connect.
It's insane.
Son. And real quick, just for the people watching, we got this clip
that
Sarfati, friend of the show, breaks down the whole thing.
As part of the project to explore psychic power with the CIA, he went to Scientology meetings. Doesn't mean he was a Scientologist. Right, he may have joined, officially, just because he wanted to see what they had. It was L. Ron Hubbard. We know all about Jack Parsons. If you read about Jack, what is it, Strange Angel? You've seen the book, the Jack Parsons book?
No.
There's a book, biography.
Strange Angel?
Strange Angel. It's all about all this stuff. Jack Parsons worked with Frank Molina. Back in the 1930s, on all this rocket stuff. JATO. They started, what is it? Aerojet? General, the JATO?
Aerojet, yeah.
Yeah, Aerojet.
Yeah, there's actually a big Aerojet base that's abandoned now in South Florida.
Yeah, this is all Frank Molina and Jack Parsons. And Jack Parsons was financing Aleister Crowley. And L. Ron Hubbard was, I think they knew L. Ron Hubbard. But I knew people.
Dream team.
Some of the people supported me worked with L. Ron Hubbard. They were all these, plus it's a science fiction, Walter Breen. All these guys knew each other. It's a small world.
Why are all these guys so? Why are they
they're
so?
all intelligence. They're all part of the OSS, that sort of stuff.
But why are they so into the occult?
Well,
and all this angels and demons type stuff.
Well, Jacques, that's why they are. That's good. Okay, short answer. Because angels and demons of the Bible are real. They are the extraterrestrial time travelers. Okay, that's why. So it's all real. All the stories in the Bible are real. They're based on. They're not. It's like, they're distorted. But all the stuff, angels and demons. Paradise Lost, John Milton and Lucifer and Satan is real. They're all real. These are higher. The Greek gods are real. The Egyptian gods, all that stuff, Stargate, they're all coming back. It's all true.
They're all coming back. It's all true. So yes, of all the people who it could be, that's the nephew who she was emailing about his S tier list. Very odd, very random. I mean, not random.
Not just a nephew, not just a relative that they had correspondence with about a hit list of chicks he'd like to bang at 15. That's not normal. Would you ever send your aunt something like that?
Yeah, no, right, correct. Because again, it's like, let me see. Shoot, where was it? Yeah, it's not just like, let me see. Fuck, what is it gonna say? It's not okay. So people, sorry, I'm not remember this. Aside from just like it being weird, right? It's like people go like, oh, well, they're just joking, right? There we go. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, I was like, my mind fucked up. They're just joking, but even then, that's a weird joke to be making with your aunt. So it's like, I don't know. Do you think that like?
Okay, let's go another level real fast. It's a weird joke to be making with your aunt, who's also the most famous madam of the most elite people in the world, who can procure the most. You know what I mean? The most like craziest of crazies, child prostitutes, that's what Ghislain was doing.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not just emailing that to his aunt. He's emailing an aunt who's a professional at that. I wonder, have you thought about what the outcome of this was?
I DM'd this dude. I was like, hey, do you want to talk about this shit?
Come on. You want to open this can of worms on my stream?
I mean, do you think? I mean, because you've talked about this too, and I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but like, especially with like Harvey Weinstein and shit like this too, right? Who, by the way, they have pictures with as well. Let me see. Where's it at? Here we go.
Have you thought about
isn't there this concept that you've said of actresses just basically being like prostitutes for like even richer people that no one knows the name of?
There's a lot of actresses. I mean, there's a lot of stories about this. This isn't some secret. This isn't Hollywood. Everyone knows this. Like, there are some actresses who've literally made their way by being a prostitute, like, and good at it. And then they're also actresses, but I mean, they're getting passed around from producer to producer. And then there's also, this was described by many child actors. The child actor from Little Rascals. Obviously, you got Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. You know what I mean? The list literally goes on and on and on of producers and movie set and workers who were treating child actors as if it was their own brothel too.
And it's not just anyone that it's like, here he is with fucking Harvey Weinstein, like the other motherfucker in the mix of all this shit, right? So it's like
100%, dude. And so the question is, was this correspondence meant to? What's the result of this? What was the result? Was she?
What's your over under? Did he bang? Did Frank Molina, fucking Aleister Crowley's Funder's grandson bang all three of these chicks in 2002 as a 14-year-old?
I'm gonna say no. I think it's worse and darker. I think that outlined a list of girls to kidnap who looked like this.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. That's fucked up. Damn.
I mean, she's working with modeling agencies and all this stuff. She could easily be like, I need a girl who looks like this. I mean, that's what they were doing. And they had all the resources to do it. They had more resources to do this than anyone had to do anything else. You know what I mean?
Well, I did DM Xavier Molina. Maybe he'll get back to me, and maybe we'll be able to flesh out what happened in 2002.
Dude, it's so gross.
DTP says, I think Tupa's dead on there. I think you're right too, Tupa. Fuck. Damn it. It's always worse than we thought. Okay. So back to the Guthrie thing. That was a very interesting sidebar, and that will be a great clip, so thank you.
In the mix.
To ask you about Jeffrey Epstein.
So not only was she doing that, here she is asking Bill Gates about it. Right?
Oh God, is she playing hardball with Bill?
Oh, great Great point to you, but this is why we love having you here, dude.
I've never seen this clip. I wonder.
Juxtapose the energy she had with President Trump about QAnon and sex trafficking shit in the midst of 2020 election, amidst all the crazy shit going on with Antifa, to this. Let's see.
Melinda mentioned that was one of the strains, your relationship with him. And, you know, why? I guess the question is real simple. I mean, why did you continue to meet with him? When you met him, he was already a convicted sex offender. You know, and do you regret that?
I certainly made a huge mistake, not only meeting him in the first place, but I met with him a number of times. I had a goal of raising money for global health. I didn't realize that meeting with him almost downplayed the incredibly awful things he did. You know, I learned more about that over time, but you know, I'd add that to the list of big mistakes, including, you know, where Melinda's advice was sound and I should have followed it sooner than I did.
And you never saw anything where you thought, this doesn't feel right. Melinda kind of had a visceral reaction the first time she met him.
No, he was a bad person. And, you know, I had a reason that I thought those meetings would lead to something good, but I shouldn't have done them.
And finally, on this topic, you recently gave an interview. You said you'd marry Melinda.
So far, does she keep the same energy she had with Trump about provable shit?
Hell no. Look at her smiling the whole time.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you,
yeah,
Bill.
dude, like set him up for these softball answers that made him look sympathetic. And then like moving on, hey, so you're gonna propose again to Melinda? Like what the run it back 5 seconds. I want to see how she transitions here. This is wild.
Where you thought, this doesn't feel right. Melinda kind of had a visceral reaction the first time she met him.
No, he was a bad person. And you know,
can't look at her in the eye.
I had a reason that I thought those meetings would lead to something good, but I shouldn't have done them.
And finally, on this topic, you recently gave an interview. You said you'd marry Melinda all over again. She says you guys are friendly, not necessarily friends, but friendly. How do you see the relationship moving forward?
Oh my God,
well,
she's
one of the
gushing on
things
this thing.
we built together is the Gates Foundation, and we love that work. You know, we've got all the resources I was lucky enough to get. We've got Warren Buffett committed massive resources.
So again, juxtapose that. We're not going to rewatch the full thing, but juxtapose that to this, right?
Let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true
So,
and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't
the chat
necessarily
saying
make it
compare it to her interview with Virginia.
Yeah, we'll go
she's
back
like
to
an
that too.
actual
Yeah.
victim, right? Like what?
So yeah, here's
I hate
with
to
the
say
president,
that.
right? Look
I
at.
know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is
If
a
you'd like
satanic
me
cult
to
run by the deep
study
Look at
state.
the
that.
subject,
Look
I'll
at
tell
that.
you what.
And then
About Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Melinda
I'm
mentioned
so
that was one of
Bill.
the strains.
How are you
your
doing? And
relation-
then Virginia, right?
I was so young. Ghislain woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then
Look at her. Look at
that
the
night,
face. Sorry,
Andrew
the
came to
figure.
her
Yeah,
house.
can't put that right now, but.
and we went out to
Look
Club
at that.
Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section.
What the fuck?
Imagine being told you're gonna meet a prince and it's some old fat dude, Prince Andrew. Like that's
Of all the princes.
That's
You know, right? After being primed by Disney, like for what to expect for so long.
Oh God,
Prince
dude.
Andrew got me.
Yeah, good point, chat. We got 3 different Epstein tangentially related interviews in 3 different deportments from Savannah Guthrie. We got her with the victim right here being kind of standoffish, almost fuck it, like I'd say like, well, especially when you can compare this to the energy she had with fucking Bill Gates, the fucking motherfucker in the files doing freaky shit with it. It's like, okay, I think we could, yeah,
gushing, literally covering the fact that you were involved with Bill Gates financially and you met with him many times. You're admitting he's a bad person. Let's just move right on to, you said you'd marry Melinda all over again. Tell me about, like, what the hell is that?
I'm gonna just let him. I'm gonna mute these and just let him ride while we talk about him. But yeah, it's so fucking so weird.
It's weird. Now add that with the fact that her husband is running that PR firm. She absolutely knew what this guy was doing.
Having a great old time. You know, sorry for you, Bill. And then
you're in the list. You said you said he was the worst person ever.
And then, you know, we got here.
Let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that.
And then here with the president, just like all disdain. It's so weird when you consider everything, like you said, that her husband's in the list too. Okay, wow.
Well, also just with hindsight, now that we have the list that no one had back then.
Yeah, right. At the time, no one knew that her husband's fucking company was in this fucking mix.
Yep. We don't have we don't even have it all yet. But now we can look at this. If we had this while this was going on TV, do you think we would have stood for this?
Oh yeah, people would have called it out way earlier. So again, not trying to be a dick to anyone or their families, but like with all this information now, how does this relate? And also real quick, Eric Tumbleson says, and I think he's referencing the one with Virginia, straight scorn on her face. She was literally turning up her nose. Yeah. There's so much like little micro things there. Crazy. And a great point too, but I think it would have been very clear had people put two and two together that her husband's PR firm was at the very least in talks to we got Q in the house. Civilized divorce as past proves future, bro. Dude, the QAnon people are winning too, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Even Bill Maher's like, okay. Yeah.
Great case study on how the media tries to shape public opinion. It really is, because we got same reporter, same kind of topic, three different angles of it. Reporter with a victim, reporter with somebody who was in the files doing pedo shit, and reporter trying to lambast someone for having fans who investigate the pedo shit.
Yes. And the one she's most sympathetic to is the one who's on the list, Epstein's friend, doing shady shit, was just divorced for it. Like, come on.
And the one she's most hostile to is the one who has thousands of people looking into this shit who support him as well, right?
And the point she's most hostile on is admit that there is no pedo ring. Admit it. Like, it's like, what?
It's crazy, man. Crazy work.
Oh, dude, this is really wild.
So now that you said this, right? Like, had we know this in 2020, it would have changed everything, right? Everything. How does all this, what we've been percolating on, affect what you think is going on right now? That her mom got kidnapped the same week of this latest dump that names her husband as this.
Oh, it's not it's not a coincidence. Right now, we're in a world where there are no more coincidences. And then the people who there are people in the mix now, including on television, but also in the world, who are trying to dictate again how we should see this conspiracy. And if their I ask everyone to compare people's track records. You know what I mean? We've been subject to the most insane generational run of psyops over the last 10 years, right? I mean, insane to the point where it's really wild. Where they look at the masks.
Yeah, I know, right? Like literally, we got in this clip alone. We got what do we got? We got Antifa, we got BLM, we got mask mandates, we got COVID,
social distancing.
We got the election fraud. Like, you know what I mean? We got her trying to downplay satanic pedos.
Yes.
There's like 10 in this clip alone going on at one time.
And I'm sure that they're just riddled throughout every single news thing that was going on. I mean, think about the post-election. Remember the crazy stuff after post-election? I mean, this is what, for 2-3 months before J6? Yeah. And did you see, not to get off on a tangent, but dude, we got to cover this at some point. Did you see that there's emails regarding like how to plan Jan 6th? Like, they were all yes. And there's also emails about the pandemic planning.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
2015, 2016. Like, bro, they ran all of the ops they could once this stuff started to come out. Wasn't it weird that in 2019 Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and then killed allegedly, and then the virus happens? Like that was like beyond a coincidence, right? Because all those things were used as ways to overthrow what was happening. Like all of it, like from the election fraud all the way to Jan 6th. Basically, they stole it and then they had to cover it. And in order to cover it, they had to demonize, which is why they arrested so many of the people that were over there. It's really, when this stuff comes out, I think it's going to be bananas, but those files they're revealing stuff already, dude. I mean, I really think someone can create an entire YouTube channel, but just looking at old footage from 2016 all the way to now, I mean, like, look at this. we forgot this because they memory hole a lot of stuff, dude. Like
they do, they really do. All right, so let's get down to the. I just got a few about kind of like the situation because, I mean, not trying to be a dick either. This was weird. Was this not weird? Listen to the shit they say here. Oh, you know, there's someone's grandma at the helm of all this, so like, pray for her, pray for everyone covering this too. You know what I mean? Just saying, you know, this is all very much active, right? You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But I thought this was like a little odd.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom.
Isn't that weird? I don't know. I mean, I think there's a potential that Jeffrey Epstein was a goddamn reptilian, bro. So hearing them be like, we're just merely human. I don't know. I'm not trying to look into it too hard.
Sure.
Was that not weird to you?
The whole thing is weird. When I watch this, I kind of feel like I'm looking at them the way that she looked at Virginia Guffire. My nose is up. I'm like, you know, okay. But this is suspicious. Like, and I like Viva Fry, and he even covered this. Now, there's a line that Savannah uses that's directly from, or it matches that Silence of the Lambs film. But I think the reason that people are missing when they think about the conspiracy is that, like, there's FBI involved. And as far as I could tell, every person who goes on the news to discuss these things are told something about the FBI. Like, don't cry, don't show weakness, don't be angry. And then also this idea of talk to the victim. You'll find out. That means, like, engage with them. That like encourages this, like, the because what you want to do is make the victim real to the kidnapper instead of some objective object that you could just shoot, right? And so you avoid talking to them, you avoid looking at them, and so this is like, talk to them, you'll find out. Like, so it encourages like the humanization of the victim. Now, I'm not sure, but watch out. I mean, look how closely
she is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Catherine is very gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see.
And again, I'm not trying to be a dick because it's someone's mom, but like in that one file, it almost looks like she's a suspect. Like, oh, homegirl interviewed with Savannah Guthrie again. You know what I mean? That one DOJ document that was released, and then the other one for sure. If her husband's PR firm did take that deal or take that job, then they're definitely suspects. No,
they're. Yeah, I think the idea to intimidate them from talking is not off the table, but I did just power run the entire Sopranos series. But I do think that it could be sending a message. You either want money or you're sending a message. You don't just kidnap somebody, bro. And then, like, I guess there's ransom notes and letters.
Yeah, when was the last time there was even a kidnapping like this? This is some weird shit. People are saying this is like the Lindbergh kidnapping type.
Have you seen the updates? Like Trump, I think last night was like, oh, there might be some definitive news on that soon. And then I think this morning they blocked off the house again. Like, there was a lot of police presence at the house again. And so I think they might be zeroing in. I'm not sure. But
yeah, let's watch that real quick too. We're bouncing around, bro. Fuck it.
Well, this is developing. It's breaking stories, dude. Like,
yeah. There you go.
And I think we're doing very well. on that regard.
It's Trump on the Guthrie stuff.
Surprised to hear that. I think we're doing very well. Very well, meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong. And I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Is this a nationwide search? Is this a search going to Mexico?
I'm not talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution. We have some things I think that will maybe come out reasonably soon from DOJ or FBI or whoever that could be
suspect.
Yeah, could be definitive.
A
A lot's taken place in the last couple of hours. A lot of things have happened with regard to that horrible situation in the last couple of hours.
Mr. President, at the very least, do you condemn the racist parts of the video?
Oh, wait.
The Dow and S&P have done really well under you, Mr. President.
Who?
The Dow and S&P have.
Okay, good.
Wait a second. Who was standing behind Trump in the airplane? Is that the guy who's riddled throughout the files?
Is that?
What's his name?
I forget. He looks familiar though.
Eric Tumbleson might know. Chad, isn't that guy in the files a lot? Dude, that guy's got to get off the plane, dude.
He looks sus. He does look sus in the whole thing.
Dude, I'm tired of these fucking these files, bro. These guys got to get out of here.
Trump's neck is very odd. Okay, moving back to actually, wait, here we go. Well, that's right. Because I guess there's a weird part where they say "mommy, mommy, mommy" a lot, which is kind of odd.
What? I have. This is as far as I've watched. My nose was up to this. My bad.
Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Just normal human people who need our mom. Mama.
People are saying it was Howard Lutnick in the thing.
If you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She's 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
Very sad, unfortunate situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of pain in there. I feel that, but also a lot of uncomfortability in there. They look very uncomfortable, which I don't know how you could. You got to look genuine and earnest, but that's still so bizarre. Like they're almost talking to her like, I don't know. Their statements to her are weird.
Yeah, like we're talking to you every day, every moment. Like, what does that mean? A little odd, but who knows? Okay, let's continue along here. Get some of the sheriff stuff.
We believe Nancy is still out there.
I think
We
2
want
days
our
ago now.
home, our department, the sheriff's department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and get and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do. But I have other partners out there who have stepped up, and you've probably noticed them in the last few days, if not the last few hours, and you're going to see more of that. Well, I made a decision to contact our PCRIT team, and those of you not local, that's our Pima Regional Critical Incident Team. It's made up of law enforcement officers from this entire valley. Pasquayaki Police Department, Tucson Police Department, Marana Police Department, Oro Valley Police Department, Pima College Police Department, Tucson International Police Department, Sarita Police Department. There's so many of them, and they are going to help us tremendously. And
have they named the son-in-law or whatever?
Not yet officially. I did put out that clip where that one lady said her source within the thing says he's a prime suspect. But here's on the ransom note, which again is kind of odd. Like, when was the last time like anything like this happened? Especially of all times now. Especially of all times when her husband's PR firm is in there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Let's be real here.
Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets. As with every lead, we are taking it seriously. We are in communication with the family. And while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. Thank you to those in the community that have called in tips. For anyone out there that may have information, no matter how small you think it may be, please report it. You can do so by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. My next message is to those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit.
Okay, so on this ransom note, this is what's interesting, is that it went to TMZ.
Here now with more is founder.
Which, by the way, TMZ is in the files too. Again, it's very similar actually to the way that Savannah Guthrie's husband's firm is in the files. Not confirmed they did it, but here we have an email, I think, to Jeffrey Epstein from Mike Strick. Tried to call you. Harvey Levine, who runs TMZ, is a good friend. They haven't reported on this at all, but I might be able to get him to do something on the Duchess and her backpedaling. So potentially using Harvey Levine and TMZ as a puff piece to help out Epstein's PR. Just like, doesn't that sound just like the email they said about the Glover group, the Grover Park group? And isn't it odd that of all people, TMZ gets the fucking thing? And look at how fucked up Harvey looks. I'm not trying to accuse anyone of everything.
TMZ,
like,
Harvey Levine.
Look at this motherfucker. Look at him, and then look at him fucking 12 days ago when he's talking about Alex Prady.
I have a take on what happened between Alex Prady
And then look at him now. And back here. 12 days ago. Isn't that fucking weird?
He looks guilty. It's very weird.
He looks like a different fucking person, bro.
Yeah, there's some weight on his shoulders, dude. That's very weird.
And isn't this email eerily similar in language to the one that Savannah Guthrie's husband's firm has mentioned? Like, let's use this as a potential way to help our PR. You know what I mean? Let's use TMZ and Harvey Levine. He's a good friend. And of all people, he gets it. And again, to me, they just look.
Bro, when they said that if these files get out, everything crumbles, this is the kind of stuff they meant. Like, they weren't playing around. These guys are plugged into everything. Now exposing it and seeing like how they've been trying to frame the narrative for the public, and they're clearly lying because they're in cahoots with the people that are doing it. Like, that's going to be something that they understand. I mean, people have to know that are involved in this, that like, if the public found out, they would literally have them arrested. Like, and maybe, their fame's gone, their money's gone. You know what I mean? They're going to be super villains for life. The kind of stuff that, because look at the media, bro.
It's 12 days. 12 days ago. All right, let's watch a little bit of that.
My friend, wish I saw you under better circumstances. Let's talk a little bit what you learned as this was going on in real time while you're doing the show.
Well, I kind of need to back this up to Tuesday when we received what looked like a ransom letter. And so we called the sheriff's department in Pima, and they took the information. There was something in that letter that caught my eye at the end where they mentioned both. Now I can say it because the FBI said it. An Apple Watch and a damaged floodlight. What I found interesting, because we knew she wore an Apple Watch, there are pictures of her with Savannah with that watch, but they mentioned where the watch was, the placement of the watch in the house. And that's not something that was out there. So I had a long talk with the sheriff's department. A couple hours later, the FBI called and they wanted a lot of information. So when I said there are 2 deadlines, yes, there is one that changes the demand, and that's the one that that has already passed. And the one on Monday is far more consequential.
Well, I want to go back to that word consequential, because what you said.
So again, we're not going to play the whole thing, but just the idea of all the people who gets the letter, it's this motherfucker who's also named in the files as being a potential PR thing, just like Savannah Guthrie's husband was. Is this not weird to anyone else? What's the phrase? People patterns tell stories or whatever. And now he looks like shit when just 12 days ago he was looking like this, ready to kick Trump's ass over Alex Prady and shit. Now he looks like fucking like this.
Dude, this feels very mob Sopranos.
Feels very fucking weird, bro. Yeah,
it feels too transparent. It feels too obvious, right? Like, but I mean, it's clear, dude. We've been watching this stuff unfold. This is kind of how they behave. I think we know what to look for. A lot of people do now. These guys are in the media framing everything. We don't get to where we are right now, where half the country sees an American flag and they think they're seeing a swastika. You don't.
Eric
get
Templeton says, "How come her network didn't get a letter?" Come on, yeah, good point. Why TMZ? It's a message to him too, is it not?
For sure.
I feel a little uncomfortable even covering this shit, bro. To be honest.
Oh, it's all out. It's all out now.
Luckily, a lot of people are covering it too. That's why we got to all do it together, you know.
Well, I mean, because now we never had any privileged information about any of this stuff.
We're reporting on public information, you know. All this shit's already out there. Other people already covered it before we did, so you know. Okay, we got 2 more left that are kind of sidebars about different shit for the clips. You know, these will go hella viral. All right. So Zuckerberg and Elon had dinner with Jeffrey Epstein years after he was a convicted sex offender. And potentially Peter Thiel as well. Jeffrey's from Jeffrey Epstein to Peter Attia, August 2nd, 2015. Where are you? I might be in LA Monday, Burbank, to look at the interior of the other BBJ. Tonight, dinner with Mark Thiel and Zuckerberg. And then it appears at that dinner, Jeffrey Epstein sent himself a photo of, here you can clearly see Mark Zuckerberg, his wife Priscilla, and you can clearly see Elon Musk. You can't really see Peter Thiel, but it's suspected that he was there too. Maybe he just tagged along and these people didn't know. But I do find it very interesting that and actually Zuckerberg's in the files a lot. He's in the files quite a bit. Elon has pictures with Ghislain in them. But it is interesting that, like, almost very similar to Savannah Guthrie, right? Where it's like she's lambasting the president about QAnon. She's trying to rehabilitate Bill Gates on it. Meanwhile, her husband's all in the mix with like a PR firm doing it. We have Zuckerberg hanging out with Epstein. Meanwhile, his platforms were suppressing conversations around QAnon, Pizzagate, 2020 election fraud, the Hunter Biden laptop, which is very Epstein-esque, COVID lab leaks, vaccine side effect. Like, isn't this dichotomy? I mean, it's not weird. It makes perfect sense, does it not?
Well, it makes sense, but it's very dark. We're talking about companies who were controlling narrative and public opinion to such a degree that they could literally help cover up one of the most prolific crimes that was becoming public information, no matter what, right? They knew they couldn't stop it, so they did everything they could to buy time, which included censoring, deplatforming, arresting, you know what I mean? Defaming, like all that, whatever they could do, they did it. And this is just a big part of it, dude. When Zuckerberg went on to, I don't know if it was Joe Rogan, but
I got you, brother. Ready?
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails. the emails are published. It's all kind of out there, and they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no.
Pause it real quick because Rogan is really anal about his stuff. Is the new haircut and the chain and is the persona flip working on YouTube? Is it helping you forget that he his platforms didn't allow you to talk about COVID, lab leak, the vaccine. What is it? Pizzagate, QAnon. Is this helping you at all or no?
No.
You still remember?
Yeah,
or does it actually? It's kind of insult to injury that he's trying to like do this rebrand and blame fucking Biden, bro. You had fucking, you could have said
and
no.
Facebook is like it's one of the most toxic. It's like the Craigslist. You know what I mean? Of internet engagement now. It's so weird, and it's full of like the weirdest people who are so polarized. It's a weird landscape, and he helped create that.
Yeah.
All the boomers are stuck there. You know what I mean? It's great.
Oh, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're gonna see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment, like this sort of like
the rebrand is crazy work, bro. Crazy work rebrand here.
Like class action lawsuit type meme, and they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden.
Point being, though, another data point here, and reason not telling. Tell us when you did say yes, Zuck, because we know you did say yes, and they're not asking you this. If they knew you would have said no from the get-go, they wouldn't have asked you. You feel me? Like as much as you're trying to be like, I didn't do it, it's kind of a dry snitch in its own way.
Yeah, because they did it.
They did it multiple other times for other shit, like Pizzagate, like the laptop, like fucking QAnon. And whether you believe in QAnon or not, the idea that you can't talk about it is just fucking stupid.
When he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating and coming after our company. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Wow.
Yeah, so hell of a rebrand. Like, he wasn't the motherfucker censoring, again, all these topics. I looked it up, too. I double checked.
It was brutal. It was brutal. He's the victim, bro.
Yeah.
He's what a creep. What a creep.
Here, let's see this one, too. Let's see this one.
How do you guys handle things when they're a big news item that's controversial? Like, there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York
we
Post.
had that, too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically the background.
Notice he didn't say no. We didn't censor it. We took a different path. That's a yes.
Around here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. What we do is we have, if something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program because we don't want to be deciding what's true and false. And for the I think
hell of a long way to say we did censor that shit off, right?
Absolutely. He's lying.
You could tell too, his department here is like, he's uncomfortable. How do I phrase this the right way?
When it was basically being determined whether it was false, the distribution on Facebook.
And mind you, this is closer to the time when it happened, right? This is before the this haircut mode.
What year is this from?
Shit, I don't know. I'll look it up right now.
It was decreased, but people were still allowed to share it. So you could still share it. You could still consume it.
So when you say the distribution is decreased,
it got shared.
How does that work?
It basically, the ranking in newsfeed was a little bit less. So
they just shadow banned it. They didn't. You could still talk about it. We just shadow banned it, Joe. Okay, so this one is 2024, and the one with the glow up is so this is June 2024. The glow up one is January 2025.
Fewer people saw it than would have otherwise. So it definitely.
By what percentage?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's
we nuked it. People didn't see it, Joe. That's what he's telling you. This is a what a piece of shit here, huh? Like the way he's trying to misframe the fact that they totally covered this shit up is hilarious.
It's meaningful, but basically a lot of people were still able to share it. we got a lot of complaints that was the case. Obviously this is a hyper political issue. So depending on what side of the political spectrum, you either think we didn't censor it enough.
What that means is when they censored it, people still hit him up like, I could still see it. So they had to correct some of the things. Is all he's saying. He's just flipping it around.
Yep.
Right. People can still share it.
Sort of black and white about it as Twitter. We just kind of thought, hey, look, if the FBI, which I still view as a legitimate institution in this country, it's like very professional law enforcement. If they come to us and tell us that we need to be on guard about something, then I want to take that seriously.
Did they specifically say you need to be on guard about that story?
No, I don't remember if it was that specifically, but it basically fit the pattern.
No, I don't remember. You see, these are all lie tells, are they not? I think they
When
are.
something like that turns out to be real, is there regret for not having it evenly distributed and for throttling the distribution of that story?
What do you mean evenly distributed?
I mean evenly in that
You know what he fucking means? Dude, this is pissing me off, bro.
It's not suppressed. It's
I see.
not.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it turned out after the fact, the fact checkers looked into it. No one was able to say it was false, right? So basically,
It was so fucking obvious that it was real at the time. Like, it was real, bro. Oh my god. And honestly, fuck this dude. The way that now, a year later, he tries to fucking like
these people from the
with
Biden
the chain and with the fucking Jufro be like, oh, the Biden admin, man, they just made us do it. It's like, well, own your shit, bro. Own your shit that you were that dude having dinner with fucking Jeffrey Epstein and shit while you were doing all this shit, bro. Like, own it.
Thinking you controlled the world and shit. You know what I mean?
Thinking you knew better than what everyone else did. Fucking annoying, bro. Pissed me off. All right, one more. Hopefully this stands, but Jeffrey Epstein attempted to have dinner with Joe Rogan in 2017 and Rogan refused. Reading it from the bottom up, I chopped off a bunch of the sides on the end, but I'll link the thing underneath probably. Maybe I'll probably forget. If he wants, Rogan can have dinner with Woody on Friday night. And I believe this is from Lawrence Krauss. Remember, that's the same guy, the physicist who he had debunk alien abductions. Remember that guy? I think we talked about it on stream together.
Yep.
It was that guy. Yeah, so here's Jeffrey E. to Lawrence Krauss. If he wants, Rogan can have dinner with Woody on Friday night. So I think that's Woody Allen. The motherfucker loves Woody Allen, bro. they're like best friends, which again tracks, right? Pedophiles. Lawrence Krauss says, hey, things are hectic. Sorry for not getting back to you earlier. Sorry to hear about the upheavals, but I know that you take these things in stride. I will reach out to hey man, sorry that everyone found out that you're a pedo, but I know you know how to power through. I will reach out to Rogan. I think I saved his email, or at least his producer's email. He lives and works in LA. And then that's on September 25th. So then on Friday, another follow-up email from Lawrence Krauss says, good. I would have been worried otherwise. You have never been devastated by anything as far as I know, so I didn't want to be the first. House, of course, can be rebuilt, as you seem to do regularly, even without hurricanes. Sorry about Rogan so far. He seems more timid than I would have thought. So it seems like in 2017, at least Rogan was smart enough to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. So what do you think about that one? This is the last slide, by the way. So
this is in 2017. When did Lawrence Krauss go on Rogan?
Let's look that up.
Like if that's the case, that'd be interesting to know if he ever went on after this too.
Yeah, it does seem like a Joe Rogan type guest, right? I'm pretty sure he's been on a few times. Yeah, so he went on 8 years ago, episode 938. Joe Rogan has his mind blown by Lawrence Krauss.
Hello. People are arguing for that.
Do you think they're just trying to tie up something neat?
Well, I think they're trying to tie up their ignorance in something that isn't any more plausible than the picture that it stands for.
Can you click the information and see if you can get the actual date? Oh, right there.
March 20th, 2017.
When was the email sent?
Oh, shit. Good shit, Tupa. The email was sent September 2017. So a few months after. So it looks like he went on Rogan and then tried to like work his angle to like get this in there.
And has he been on?
Been on since? Let's go back and look there.
If he's not been on since, then I say great. That's great for Rogan's reputation right there.
Yeah, no, hasn't been on since.
Hey, get Epstein in here.
There does seem to be some weird inclination or some desire to expose secrets, to find secrets and to know them.
Yeah, it's nice. Well, but on the other hand, that's great. Let's exploit that.
Right.
So no. This professor gets busted for taking all this money from China. You know who else was giving him millions and millions of dollars?
Who?
Jeffrey Epstein. Really? Hell yeah.
He was giving who? The professor?
Dr. George Church.
How much
Their
was he
buddies,
giving him?
Tight millions. That guy
He was
ball
giving-
time, bro.
But Jeffrey Epstein was giving a lot of people money.
Lawrence Krauss, $250,000.
I know actually quite a lot of people that have met Epstein.
Do you really?
Why is Lex Friedman playing his guitar on Joe Rogan?
Because you're in the scientific
Yeah,
community, right?
yeah, and especially at MIT.
He was a big donor.
He's an Optimus robot.
He tainted
He's
a lot
always
of people's
testing how-
reputation
He's an Optimus robot.
by
Yeah.
knowing him in a weird way.
Basically, if you took a picture with him, your reputation is tainted.
Yeah. Yeah, whether you knew him or not.
I feel like they're going to keep zooming out of that same picture. There's going to be more people in it.
I have no relationship with Epstein. I have taken no funding from him. Our circles have occasionally overlapped. In 2002, my lit agent invited me to join a group of East Coast TED speakers. Epstein included California. And 14, Krauss seated me next to him at a lunch. See,
That's one of the connection. Yep.
And this is what I tell people. This is like what I told. This is what they do in this fucking in the UFO game. I tried to tell Gene Sticko the other day of like, be careful like what you do and who you buddy up with, because before you know it, you're on a live stream doing some heinous shit and you didn't even know, right? It's like, I'm just gonna go to a dinner and oh look, they seated me next to Epstein. Now I got a photo. Now there's an incentive for me to make sure his reputation isn't tainted. You know. Krauss is included on the list of Jeffrey Epstein's rich and powerful and presidential friends, published by the online magazine Slate. Their relationship dates back to at least 2002, when he reportedly flew with Harvard psychologist Steven Pinker and Jesse's private jet. Which I think I have that clip too, actually.
His job was to blackmail politicians, celebrities, and scientists.
How weird.
Krauss defended Epstein as the financier tied to restore his reputation after his release from jail. I don't feel tarnished in any way by my relationship with Jeffrey. I feel raised by it. Krauss told the Daily Beast in 2011.
Oh my god!
I feel raised by it. What? After Epstein's
But then the
release,
follow-up told the Daily Beast. It like sounds so satanic. I feel raised by it.
Krauss took his money and bankrolled the Origins Project at Arizona State University. Epstein on record gave Krauss $250 million, although people slightly speculate it.
50,000.
Oh, 250,000. Yeah, sorry, I'm dumb. There's one more little clip here. It was a short edit. A lot going on in this edit. I'm like, whoa. Movie trailer music.
Mm-hmm.
There does seem to be some weird inclination or some desire to.
Oh, we're gonna end it with that thing. And by the way, I believe here's Pinkner. Last little thing. I'm pretty sure that's the Pinkner guy, right? Doesn't it look like him?
It does. I mean, kind of unique looking guy, right?
Is that him?
Yeah, come on.
That's him, right? And
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein on a plane with a man. I was pretty sure it was Pinkner, but you know, fucking, they've been crazy with their community notes. Child's voice, can't tell if it's a boy or girl. Where are you taking him? On a plane. Odd, weird. That's the end of the show. Crazy stream. People, you have any closing thoughts? Thank you for being here, bro.
No, I'm really surprised about a lot of this stuff. The way that the emails can confirm timelines. I think that there's going to be, there should be someone should be going through this stuff. A historian should already be going through it. 2020 was a psyop, and this whole thing was a psyop. Like, if you really think about it, bro, while things might have been goofy in Obama's years and before, like, let's imagine, like someone like Epstein's arrested, right? Where like now it's undeniable, right? And then everyone connected to him, let's imagine, would freak out. And the connections go so high and are so crazy and involve baby farms and involve, you know what I mean? Really crazy stuff. Like, what we do know is that, like, after he was arrested, we got the 2020 election situation, right? We got Jan 6, we got COVID, we got Bill Gates, we got the World Health Organization, we got psyop after psyop after, like, it's almost as if all of the stuff that happened post 2019 after Epstein was arrested is a reaction to that from the elite class who used everything in their power to try to stop what was going to come out. It's what someone could make that argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with everything coming out right now. In hindsight, it's almost, why wouldn't that be the case? Look at all the stuff he's connected to. But yeah, I wonder if someone's going to be able to pick through all this stuff and create a decent timeline, because that's crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah. We'll also probably see you in a space or something too, but just percolating on all this shit. Crazy, bro. Crazy. But yeah.
Good
thank
show,
you,
bro.
chat, for being here. Great. Thank you for being here too. But you made the show amazing, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Woo. Boom.